Now I'd like to welcome Union Pacific's Chairman, President, and CEO, Lance Fritz, to the stage. He is the man who gave the green light to bring Locomotive 4014 back to life. Lance, the microphone is yours.
Thank you very much, Scott, and thank you, City of Ogden. Thank you, Mayor Caldwell, and the 1,000 volunteers that are making today possible here in Ogden. Or should I call this Steamtown, USA? Amen. So let's get started. Let's get into what we're here for today. I want to introduce the celebrities of this morning. On my left, Union Pacific number 844, the living legend, brought to Union Pacific in 1944, topping out at a speed 110 miles an hour. Oh, come on, we can do better than that for the 844. Far down the track on my right, the latest steam locomotive to join the Union Pacific family, the big boy, Union Pacific 4014, all 1.2 million pounds, 7,000 horsepower of steel and fire waiting down the track. So let's get started on why we're here today.
Union Pacific Lance Fritz calling Union Pacific Big Boy number 4014. Over. Union Pacific 4014 responding to Chairman Lance Fritz. Come in, over. I'm in position in front of your locomotive. We're ready for you to make a move. Are you ready? Over. UP 4014 is ready to proceed. Chairman Fritz, over. Union Pacific 4014. Take them ahead. Over. Understood. Here we come. Union Pacific coming ahead. Here we come, sir.
Okay, now that our star is here and the stage is set, I have a few more special guests I'd like to come up to the stage with us. First off, please welcome the 17th governor of the great state of Utah, Governor Gary Herbert. From Utah's 1st District, right here in Ogden, Congressman Rob Bishop. Next, we have Sandy Dodge, who is the great-great-nephew of General Grenville Dodge, who became Union Pacific's chief engineer during the great construction of the Transcontinental Railroad. And also Margaret Yee, whose great-great-grandfather was a chef for the Central Pacific Chinese track gangs. It was one of these gangs who set a record for laying 10 miles of track in a single day, a record that still stands today 150 years later. To both Sandy and Margaret, we can't underestimate the impact that your ancestors had on getting us here to today. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Chairman Fritz for some additional comments.
Thank you very much, Scott. You know, today is 150 years in the making. It's the culmination of what we learned as school children in our history class, the connecting of East and West. It goes all the way back to 1862. President Abraham Lincoln signs into existence the Union Pacific Railroad at one of the darkest moments in our nation's history. And his vision is that we're going to stitch the country together. We're going to have the Union Pacific building west from the Missouri, and we're going to have the Central Pacific building east from the banks of the American River in downtown Sacramento. And they will meet, and they will create one united nation. That story was about the visionaries that saw what this transcontinental railroad would do. It's about the workforce, the laborers working 12, 14, 16-hour days in the most brutal, punishing conditions to build this railroad virtually by hand. It's about our First Nations whose lives and cultures were changed forever. And it's about the communities that were created, communities like Ogden, that initially might have been a water stop or a way along a journey, and ultimately became economic engines in their own right. You know, the wedding of the railroads happened just 40 miles northwest of here on May 10th, 1869, and it changed America forever. Travel that took 6 months to go from New York to San Francisco at the risk of your life literally turned into a 10-day excursion in relative comfort. Global trade changed forever. Our diets changed forever. What we thought was possible changed forever. And while that connection was finally complete, and it was the culmination of years of hard work, the journey really was only beginning. The creator of the famous golden spike knew that better than all, as he inscribed on that famous spike a prayer that's as purposeful today as it was in 1869. May God continue the unity of our country like this railroad unites the two great oceans of this world. That's a hope that stands the test of time, and it still matters today. The Union Pacific family, all women and men, all 40,000 of us, are humbled to be a part of our history, to be connected to our urban settings, to our golden valleys, to our purple mountains' majesty. It's a humbling and awesome responsibility as well. We understand that we have the responsibility not just to honor the past, but to continue to grow, to be a part of the building of this great nation that we call America. With that, I'd like to turn the microphone over to our great governor of this great state, Governor Herbert. I'm so sorry, the governor reminds me. Vince, could you come up here for a moment, please? I'm going to tell a story where our special agent, Vince, comes up here to deliver a special package. This morning I had the great honor and pleasure to represent Union Pacific and give a few interviews to national media. When we were finished exiting the stage, Vince had run across a family, one of you, somebody in this crowd, who came here because Sally, her father, Mr. Gillies, who passed away roughly a year ago, his final wish was to become a part of the Union Pacific Railroad by being consumed in the boiler of the great 4014, the big boy. She told me that story. This is Mr. Gillies, and I want to share with you what's written on his ashes. The last wish was for his ashes to go through the firebox of the 4014 big boy. It was his life dream to see one in action, but cancer stopped him too soon. He was a train engineer. He worked in the United Kingdom on the Swindon Railways, a continent away. And Union Pacific and the 4014 big boy meant that much to him. So we're going to honor that last wish, and it is going to be our honor to do so. Thank you for reminding me of that, Governor Herbert.